There's one on a crankbait. All right, up. Not too bad. Got him hooked right under the jaw. All right, let's just swing him in like that. Pull him up here and hey, we got us one. I mentioned crankbaits and we've actually caught one on a crankbait. There, and I didn't get hooked. That one hit a little chartreuse. I think that's a Bomber Model A right there. Put that down, show off a little Pine Creek Lake largemouth bass. We caught a few of those today. Hadn't been too bad today with some overcast and clouds. We'll put that one back. There we go. And I want to mention a couple of things about the lake. Number one, the lake is situated right at the outskirts of the Kiamichi Mountains. In fact, the Kiamichi River is just back over the hill a little ways. It runs right through Lake Hugo, a little bit west of here. This lake is controlled by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and has lots of very well-equipped, nice parks, good camping, good boat ramps, everything you would need right here at Pine Creek, so you might want to check that out. One other thing interesting I want to mention about the history of this place is it was just over on the east shoreline of what was then the Little River that the Choctaw Tribal District Court was located, and it was the place where they executed their criminals right here on the banks of the Little River. As a matter of fact, they didn't have jails back then. So if you violated tribal law, they tried you. If you were found guilty, took you right out by the creek. Executions right here at what's now Pine Creek Lake. All right, let's check in right now with Gary Dollahan. Here's your Oklahoma Fishing and Lake Reports.
Oklahoma anglers are lucky in that we have a lot of city lakes around the state, and many of them offer some really fine fishing. One of those lakes is Okemah, located about 20 miles west of Henrietta. Head right down I-40. You're going to exit to the north, go through the small community of Okemah. Another 2 or 3 miles, you're at the lake. Like most city lakes, there's some type of access fee that you will need to pay for use. And then also pay attention to any signage there for any special restrictions on those bodies of water. Lake Okemah was a good outing for us. I was with Bobby Myers from Broken Arrow. We were bass fishing. We had a really good day, caught a lot of fish throughout the day. We found, like most city lakes, there was a lot of clear water, and all the way around the lake was willow grass, which offers great cover for forage fish as well as the fish that we were after. We found some areas that we liked best that had a little bit of off color to them, wind coming across through weedy points, and overall is relatively shallow. We found that the fish really wanted some smaller baits. Our best baits was a small Norman's crankbait, a 4-inch Gina Rue tube worm, and a 5-inch shaky head worm. We were looking again for the off-colored areas. We were either throwing little pockets in the grass or right in front of the grass. Sometimes there was some open water with a little bit of scattered timber throughout that, but really the better areas were the grass. Surface temperature was about 80 degrees, so our water temps are starting to come down around the state, thanks to these recent cool nights we've had. And the fall will continue to bring a change in the water conditions and the fishing. From here on out, it's going to continue just to get better as we go deeper into fall. One thing about them, you can't catch them if you don't go. See you on Lake Okemah.
I'm predicting a big fall fishing season for Lake Travis, just outside Austin, Texas. Why? Because that lake was down over 50 feet for a long time back during the drought, but has now filled all the way back up to only 12 feet low. So let's take a look at it right now on the Lowrance HDS-10, the big widescreen high-res unit here with the Insight shaded relief mapping. You can see the lake. It's just a little bit west of Austin, Texas. It's a winding river reservoir on the Colorado River. My best fishing has been a 5 to 6 mile stretch in the mid-lake area. Here, we switched to the Navionics Hot Maps Platinum software. We zoomed down to that area. You can see that this is a very steep, deep, and rocky impoundment. There are good points and some underwater humps and ridges along here. A very large hump on this main lake bend right here. Some good white bass and striper fishing can be found along these areas. Watch for shad breaking the surface and diving birds. And then there are a lot of floating boathouses along this shoreline for some good bass fishing. Later in the fall, when the water cools, the bass will also migrate into these major creeks following shad. Lake Travis has traditionally been a great fishing lake and will be again now that it's filled back up. That's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. Cajun Bites and Barry's Real Fishing is up next.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by quality award-winning Tracker boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance, makers of the HDS, high-definition systems, and by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride.